Hey geeks, I'm Trey Guillotine, and I'm talking about whether or not the Batman movie might be in trouble. That and more in this week's Geekly Trends. Harrison Ford was involved in yet another airplane incident. As he was landing, he was landing on a taxi runway where the airplane set up to take off. He was basically trying to land on that, and he was right over a commercial airliner that was full of like 100 people. They diverted him to another runway. He's probably gonna have to pay a fine of some sort. They really need to stop letting Harrison Ford fly airplanes. But Harrison Ford has a habit. At least I don't think 6 months go by there isn't some news report about Harrison Ford in an airplane incident. The last one was maybe 6 months ago, 6 months to a year ago, where he crashed his plane. Well, he didn't necessarily crash, but he didn't land that well on a golf course. It's apparently a hobby of his. He collects classic airplanes from what I understand, but he should probably stop flying them, or if he wants to fly them, have someone else that actually knows how to fly an airplane fly him around. It's kind of like Indiana Jones' The Last Crusade, where his dad asked him, I didn't know you could fly a plane. Fly, yes. Land, no. And that seems to be very true of Harrison Ford. We're about a month away from the release date of Mass Effect Andromeda. The producers were talking a little bit about it, and they wanted to clarify that this game isn't an open world game, and I think this is smart for them to do. When Dragon Age Inquisition came out, they advertised it as an open world game. When I think open world, I think Skyrim, or Grand Theft Auto, or Red Dead Redemption, where you can pretty much go from one side of the map to the other without any real loading screens as just this open world sandbox. When I played Dragon Age Inquisition, I was expecting something more along the lines of Skyrim, and I was a little disappointed. These zones in Dragon Age Inquisition are not so much open world as very large world. The zones are pretty massive, and they have a lot of different areas, but you can't walk from one zone to another. You have to go to a loading screen, you have to select that you want to travel to this zone, and then you go from zone to zone that way. And it looks like this is going to be very similar for Mass Effect Andromeda. This also isn't a surprise coming from Mass Effect because it's never really been an open world type of game. But they just want to clarify that Mass Effect Andromeda will not be open world, but they definitely want to keep that focus on exploration. So I have a feeling it'll be very similar to Dragon Age Inquisition in that those zones and the worlds that you go to will be very big for lots of things for you to find. But don't mistake that you can't go from one world to the other without, jumping on your ship or just walking from one side of the map to the other, like you could in, say, Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto. Rumors have been going around of who could be the next Doctor after Peter Capaldi steps down after this next season. Actress Tilda Swinton is hotly tipped to be stepping into the shoes of the Time Lord when Peter Capaldi bows out of Doctor Who for good. For fans, Tilda Swinton has always been on the list of who could be the Doctor. And personally, I think she would be a great Doctor, but I don't really want her to be the Doctor. It's not so much that I have anything against Tilda Swinton, or that I think she's a bad actor, or that I think she couldn't do it. I think she would be an amazing Doctor. But Tilda Swinton is a very mainstream and well-known actor. I kind of like seeing the Doctor be someone that I don't know as much, because then I don't really know what to expect. With Tilda Swinton, you kind of know what to expect. She has a very particular style of acting, so you can kind of imagine the kind of Doctor she's going to be. I would look forward more to seeing a new actor so I can be surprised at the kind of performance and the kind of Doctor they're going to give me. Of course, if Tilda Swinton becomes the Doctor, she could completely surprise us and do this completely new type of performance that she's never done before and just knock it out of the park. It's entirely possible. She's a very gifted actor. I prefer that sense of surprise. In an interview for her next movie, Ghost in the Shell, Scarlett Johansson answered a couple questions about whether or not we'll see a Scarlet Widow movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and she responded that her and Kevin Feige, the person behind the MCU, at least on the film side, are very excited and prepared to do a Scarlet Widow movie, but the problem is timing. All of the movies are planned out at least 4 years in advance. Even if we do get a Scarlet movie, it's not going to be any time in the next 4 years because that's already planned out. But she says she's committed to the idea, and that if it does happen, or / when it does happen, she's going to give it her all and do the best and make the best Black Widow movie she can. I know a lot of people have been wanting a Black Widow movie. I'm even in favor of a Black Widow movie, but I'm also a little concerned that everyone is so focused on Black Widow when she's had such a substantial role in the Avengers films, in the MCU. She was the third hero to be introduced into the MCU right after Iron Man and Hulk. She's had a substantial role in these films already, but yet everyone seems so focused on her when they've let characters like the characters of Quake in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Agent Carter, which was cancelled, pass them by, or Jessica Jones. Fortunately, Jessica Jones had a lot stronger of reception and even won some awards. I would like to see more and different female heroes come to the MCU. Black Widow isn't the only female superhero in Marvel in the MCU, and I don't want so much focus on Black Widow. I want viewers to understand and realize that there are other characters that they are bringing in that I would rather see them commit more time to than making a Black Widow movie when already we have such a substantial role of Black Widow already. I would rather see them commit their time to other female heroes and other diverse heroes than just keep focusing on Black Widow, because every year, every single time a Marvel TV show or movie comes out, the topic goes to Black Widow, and I'm tired of Black Widow. I like Black Widow. She's a great hero. She's a great character. And Scarlett Johansson has done a great job portraying her in the MCU. But there are other female characters. There are other diverse characters in the MCU that are already there and that are coming into the story that I would prefer to see them more so than more Black Widow. With Ben Affleck stepping down as director of Batman, it looks like the director for the new Batman might be Matt Reeves, who directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So I don't think this is a bad thing. At the same time, I'm still kind of disappointed that Ben Affleck is stepping down as director. I understand his reasoning to do it, that he wants to step back as director of Batman so he can focus fully on the performance and playing Batman. But I was a little more optimistic with him behind the camera as Batman as well as in front of the camera, because he's able to really understand the character of Batman and direct the movie as such. And I don't think this director would be the worst director to take it on. That's not the only news. There's also a rumor going around that Ben Affleck doesn't want to be Batman anymore. After Justice League and Batman vs. Superman, he might already be ready to throw in the towel. And personally, I can't blame him. There is a lot of production problems and a lot of studio intervention with Warner Brothers and DC movies that I can understand them kind of pushing him away. I think he was a great Batman in Batman vs. Superman. He was one of the few good things I liked about Batman vs. Superman. Hopefully he'll be a good Batman in Justice League, and Justice League will hopefully be a good movie, but I'm not holding my breath. If Ben Affleck does step down, Will Arnett says that he's ready to take on the Cal in a live-action movie. Will Arnett voiced Lego Batman in the Lego Batman movies. Of course, when he said this, he was on a talk show, and he was just kind of joking around because they asked him if he would like to be live-action Batman, and he was, of course, joking. But really, when I thought about it, Will Arnett wouldn't be the worst choice for Batman. I could definitely see it. He has that very, I mean, he's a handsome dude. He's a handsome guy, and he could definitely play Bruce Wayne. And I think that this would give him a chance to be more than just the comedic Will Arnett, and that's the thing we seem to know him for, is his comedy. It would be interesting to see him in a more dramatic and even action-packed role as Batman and Bruce Wayne. I highly doubt this is going to happen, because I don't think they would want to have Will Arnett both voicing Lego Batman and playing Batman. This isn't even a rumor. This is just an interview Will Arnett did that he was joking around about the possibility of him being live-action Batman, but I don't think it would be the worst idea. Speaking of Lego Batman, and a new update on iPhone, Siri has a Lego Batman Easter egg. In the Lego Batman movie, there's a computer that he talks to. It's really the person he talks to the most, and he just calls it, "Hey, Pewter." And actually, fun tidbit, it was actually voiced by Siri, by the phone app, was a voice in the game, was a voice of the computer in Lego Batman. But this Easter egg is really interesting if you have an iPhone and you have Siri, so check this out. "Hey, Pewter."
Hello, sir. I've heated up your lobster thermidor in the microwave. I'm one step ahead of you, Alfred.
That's so awesome. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. Those were just a few of the Geekly trends going on this past week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and share it around so other people can join in the conversation. Follow me on all the internets, and check me out on Patreon if you want to support more of my future content, and check out templeofgeek.com, your one stop for all things geek, and subscribe to my channel so we can geek out some more. Thanks for watching, and have fun. So Captain America, Thor, Hulk.